All right. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jason. So, I'm going to be a little honest with you guys, actually. This is the first video that I'm doing, and I don't know how it's going to come out. I don't know how, if you guys are going to like it. Honestly, here we go. I want to talk about how to get a house in New Jersey. So in that way, you guys are able to go through the process in your head, find out any information that you haven't been able to find out before, just to grasp a concept. I don't know if anybody's been doing this a lot lately and explaining to specifically younger people how to get one, all right? So let me just break it all down in an overview for you. The way that you buy a house in New Jersey is first you speak with a mortgage representative, all right? So this doesn't have to be a typical person from the bank. This can be somebody that has their own mortgage company, There's different types of mortgage lenders out there, and you're gonna come across them, and I'm also gonna talk about them in another video. But first, you speak with a mortgage rep, right? Once you speak with them, you're going to get one of two things, right? You're going to get either a pre-qualification or you're going to get a pre-approval letter. What happens with the pre-qualification is basically that you tell the mortgage representative, hey, this is how much I earn, this is how much I'm in debt, this is so on and so forth, right? You give them the information verbally, right? So there's nothing concrete for them to actually look into. They have to trust what you're saying, right? So usually this is going to be very rough, and it's going to give you like an overview, but not really, right? Then you're going to go into the thing that you're going to want to get, which is the pre-approval. The pre-approval, the way that you're going to get it is that you're going to need four things, right? You're going to need one, the last 2 years of your tax returns, okay? You're going to need to hand that in. You're going to need to see if you have your W-2s from the last 2 years and pay stubs from the last 2 months, and then also the bank statements from the last 2 months. All right, so we're going to need these four things, and once you have those four things and you're able to hand that into the rep, he's going to give you something that we call a pre-approval, which is a very, very stern, saying that's like, this is exactly how much you qualify for. And this is key because once you hand in an offer, right, once you try to give an offer in, what's going to happen is that the listing agent is going to look for all these things in deciding which one is the best offer. All right, so once you get your pre-approval, we can then in turn go out, and we're no longer blind in terms of looking which houses you like to get, right? So we look at specific cities, right? We narrow it down to the top houses, and we see which one is the most beneficial towards you, all right? Once we get the house, you put an offer in, the offer gets accepted, right? If the offer gets accepted, actually. Sometimes you put an offer in and it doesn't get accepted, and it sucks because, you should have offered more, or there should have been more in the offering. But somebody beats you to it and it sucks, but we go out and find another house, no big deal. Anyway, you put an offer in, right? If it gets accepted, we go into the stage that's called attorney review period. And during this stage, right, what happens is we send it off to your lawyer. They look over the contract. They know what a standard New Jersey real estate purchasing contract looks like. They're gonna go over and make sure that there's nothing additional that's gonna mess you up later on. And they basically, say that the contract's okay, and they legalize it for you. They represent you in the legality of this. Okay, so after that, the attorney review period ends around 3 days, right? We can extend the attorney review period, and we're going to be talking about that in other videos as well, right? So once we end the attorney review period, right, then we're going to go into the inspection period, where we're going to be looking into details about the house that are either going to cost you money later on, if there's any deficiencies in the in the structure, if it needs a new roof, is there an oil tank. We're gonna find out what's going on with the property, because we need to know that before you actually purchase it. All right. So I like to think about it in the way of like kind of buying a car, right? When you buy a car, you're gonna want to do inspections to the car before you actually buy it, right? So you do the inspections to the house, right? We find out what we need, and then we negotiate with the owner. We find out. We say, hey, you know what? The house needs these things in repair. Let's negotiate. Let's bring the price down. Or if you don't want to bring the price down, just give me a seller's concession for like half, and we'll be able to. We'll be then able to come to a closing. Right, so the seller cuts off $5,000 to $10,000 to be able to give that to you, so that way you can have that for closing costs, actually. Right. Anyway, once we pass the negotiation part, we're gonna go into the mortgage commitment period, where we're gonna be able to speak with the mortgage representative. He's gonna tell you the paperwork that he needs to be able to finalize a loan, to be able to come to a conclusion and get the clear to close. This is the magic words, clear to close, right? To be able to then close on that house. So we get the mortgage commitment. Once we get the mortgage commitment, we can inform both attorneys that we're ready to close, right? We get the clear to close, and we do the final walkthrough. During this time, we just make sure that everything in that house is the exact same way that we looked at it in, and that nobody stole anything or anything like that. Okay. Doesn't happen much. Sometimes it does. That's why we'll make sure. We go to the closing table, where we're going to be sitting down either at the attorney's office or the title agent's office, and we're going to give you paperwork. You're going to get the paperwork. You're going to be explained exactly what the zoning ordinances are, all this, city regulations that you're going to have to know. But anyway, you're going to sign, and then we're going to give you a key, and that key is going to be for the house that you just bought. So, if you were to want to do this without a real estate agent, that is perfectly fine. You can do this entire process yourself. You do not need a real estate agent, right? You just hire an attorney, right? You talk to the attorney. You say, hey, attorney, I want to have a real estate contract, on this house. Could you please make that contract for me? And that attorney will make the contract for you, right? They're going to send that offer in, and you're gonna get that contract. You're gonna send it in, right? Either the offer is gonna get accepted or it's not, and then you're gonna be able to go through the entire process exactly the same way as if you did not have a real estate professional by your side. That is key, okay? But the last thing that I want to leave you guys off with is that if you're buying a house in New Jersey, right, technically the owner pays for the buyer agent. I want to repeat this again. The owner pays for the agent's commission, right? You know why they say agent works so little and then they get a commission on top of that? That's because when the owner markets their house, they pay the real estate agent to be able to market that house. That commission is then in turn split 4 ways between the two companies, right? And each of their brokers, right? And each of the agents. I don't know how I did that, but that's pretty cool. So it's split between them. And real estate agents on the buying side, right? On this buying side, they get that commission. They get a portion of that commission that's split off, right? So in turn, the real estate agent is actually free for you. So if you were to choose to do it without a real estate agent, which is fine, you could do it. This entire process, it's up to you. And that is some advice that I give you guys hopefully you take it, you know. But yeah, good to have you guys, and I hope that you guys learned a lot in this time frame. I'll see ya. Peace. All right. So hey, what's up?